Hello everybody and welcome to Oghuview, where I like to talk about the games I finished on my channel. And in this episode we're going to talk about Mortal Kombat X, or more specifically the upgraded PlayStation 5 version you get when you own a PS5 and have PlayStation Plus. Quickly, I have to say, this game has two faces. While the normal battles are played, the updated graphics are very good and beautiful to look at, even all those years later. But there is another side of that too, and maybe I was only able to see it because of my setup at home. I use a PC monitor for gaming, and that 4K monitor did show me that all the cutscenes were not in 4K. I saw artifacts everywhere and also frame drops, and a lot of them. That would not be so bad if it was just for the cutscenes, but they happen in the fights too, specifically when they use a cutscene in battle. This means that when some moves are used, like the X-ray moves, a cutscene is being played and it's not shown in-engine. Those would look awesome, and I even remember how great they were all those years ago when I played it on launch day, but with this port they didn't do themselves many favors in that regard. Can't see it unfortunately, since my capture card can only record 1080p anyway, but still this is a big minus in my book. If anyhow possible, they should have updated the cutscenes as well, not only the game engine itself, but well, it is what it is. Ah, that's how you do it, okay. Press R1. I can't complain about the sound design and music on the other hand though. The hits sound heavy, the breaking of bones is a sound you won't forget soon, and the music is nice as well. Also the announcer is really awesome again, which is a staple in the Mortal Kombat franchise. Shout out to the voice cast as well. I think those guys did a great job, which is really something considering what they had to do. Imagine yourself having to do all those groans, moans and still talk normally for the story portion of the game. Not an easy task, I imagine. And also it wasn't very easy for the gals as well, I guess. Don't waste the X-ray move. Okay. Real mission design, let's just go straight to the story. I think it's a nice B2C movie equivalent story. Nothing too special, nothing too surprising, some plot holes here and there, some logic errors, but nothing too unreal to make, at least to me, lose my interest. The only real big problem I had with the story was the little bit after the credits. Why did Raiden change the way he did? I think that was never explained, or didn't I not get something? Well, possible. As for difficulty, I think it's a good challenge on normal difficulty, maybe a tad on the easier side. But that is highly subjective. And there are more difficult options to choose from if you want more or less of a challenge. Ah, that was close. Too close. It's a good word of the health bar, I'd say. Gameplay is king in gaming, in my opinion, and I think in fighting games it is even more important to be good on that front. And thankfully, Mortal Kombat X delivers here. It is definitely on the faster paced side, and button mashing can bring you somewhere in the game, but it is fun to play and see all of the blood and gore a Mortal Kombat game has to offer. You will have some characters you're better with, and some you're not as good with, but I think the good tutorial mode has covered you if you want to learn more. I'm by no means an expert on this topic, so I will not even try to talk about stuff like frame length and other stuff in regards to attack, to defense, etc. But I can tell you I enjoyed the gameplay very much. As for achievements or trophies, they are quite time consuming, so you might prefer to play this game every once in a while, maybe even in bursts, but trying to go for 100% completion or the Platinum trophy might tire you out pretty fast otherwise. I think the game is a good game, Nothing more, nothing less. As a side note, I have to say I did not like the PS5 controller for this game. It did give me cramps in my hands and my wrist did hurt a bit, but that is a highly subjective thing and might not affect you in the slightest. Still, I wanted to mention it. There are other games where I prefer the PS5 controller, but in this one, not so much. So, would I recommend the game? Well, I think it depends on a few factors. Do you like what you heard so far? Then go for it. If not, well, maybe watch some Let's Plays of it and decide. I think you can get this game or its XL version, which has all the DLC as well, for quite cheap, like 30 euros or your regional equivalent, even less sometimes. The DLC consists mostly of new characters and outfits, nothing story related, but if you like playing against other people, you might consider this version just for the new characters alone, like the alien from the Alien franchise or the Predator. Harder. It was just lucky.
Leaving without your friend, Devora? Your people believe we avoided your island out of respect for your solitary nature.
As already mentioned, it's free on PS Plus if you own a PS5, and not too long ago it was also a Game Pass game on Xbox. But I'm afraid, as of the making of this video, it is not part of that library anymore. Maybe it will be part of it one day again, so better go and check for yourself. Also, just to be clear, if you don't like violence and or blood in video games, then don't look any game of the Mortal Kombat franchise up. There is a reason why the first Mortal Kombat was one of the key factors in the creation of the ESRB back in the 90s in the USA. Oh, oops. No more trickery, Cage. Was my Oghuview of Mortal Kombat X. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Write down in the comments what you think of it, and I hope I see you guys again in the next episode of Oghuview or Oghupower. Bye bye.